Pike County gets a visit from a U.S. Senator.
And students learn African American history through poets. Stay tuned. TrojanVision News starts now.
From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network and Troy campuses around the world, this is TrojanVision News.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision News for February 17th, 2015. I'm Samantha Cocan.
And I'm Angel Norris. Thank you for joining us this evening. Pike County residents had the chance to hear from one of the men who represents them in the United States Senate this morning, as Senator Richard Shelby spoke to a gathering of Pike Countyans at the Chamber of Commerce's legislative breakfast. Victoria Bailey has the details.
U.S. Senator Richard Shelby, Republican representative for Alabama, spoke Tuesday morning about amnesty provisions, the disruption in the Middle East, and same-sex marriage in Alabama. He also spoke about continuing to bring businesses to Pike County and how important the youth is to our country. And one member of the chamber tells us why it's important to have Senator Shelby come and speak.
All of us need to have our representation from government come and give us ideas of their feelings and connect with us. And of course, it gives an opportunity for our citizens to actually see face to face what they're saying.
And Senator Shelby tells us exactly what he wanted to accomplish by speaking to the chamber.
Well, I wanted to have a dialogue, a conversation with the people here, which we had this morning, giving a report to the people from my perspective as a U.S. Senator, but also listen to them, their concerns, and their concerns about Washington, their concerns about the state, because I get a lot out of that by traveling across the state each year. I'm accountable to the people, and the people ought to have access to me, and that's why I'm here.
Senator Shelby is planning to run for senior U.S. Senator of Alabama again in 2016. I'm Victoria Bailey for TrojanVision News.
Shelby says he makes it a point to visit each of Alabama's 67 counties every year.
A Troy University English class spent the afternoon trying to teach a little African American history through poetry. Deborah Bogart gives us a look.
February is African American History Month, so Troy University's English department decided to highlight some African American poets by holding a poetry reading. The reading is part of a bigger education effort going on by the department this month.
As a part of the National Council of Teachers of English celebration of that, we have something called the African American Read-In, where we celebrate the literature written by African Americans. So today was an effort to celebrate that literature by reading the poems aloud and sharing them together.
Students and faculty were able to pick some of their favorite poems to perform in front of the audience. One student explains what her favorite aspect of the event was.
I think my favorite part of today was just being able to see a lot of the different styles that African American poets are producing. It's not all one thing, it's not all another, but there's some funny ones, there's some serious ones, there's a lot of profound poetry, but there's also a lot of lightheartedness.
McQuitty also said she enjoyed the culture that was presented by sharing the poems.
I think it was really cool to be able to see that other cultures still have all of this richness that can be explored, and it's right at our fingertips, and that it's very accessible.
Even though Tuesday's event focused on the work of African American poets, Waters hopes it will instill a greater appreciation of poetry as a whole.
Poetry is alive, that it doesn't matter if it was written last year or 20 years or 60 years ago, the poems still live in their voices, and they catch meaning, they catch fire from the reading of the poems, and take pleasure, I hope.
Deborah Bogart, TrojanVision News.
Today, the class held two poetry readings, one at noon and the other at 4 in the Troy University Library. Troy University is home to a large number of students who call China home.
That's right, Samantha. And later this week, those students will celebrate one of their home country's biggest holidays, Chinese New Year, right here on the Troy campus. Shantia Wilson gives us a preview.
For many of us, January 1st marks the new year, but Friday, January 20th, Chinese students will be celebrating the Chinese New Year by doing performances and eating traditional Chinese dishes.
The Chinese New Year is the most important traditional festival in our culture. You know, it's just very similar to the American or some other countries, the Thanksgiving holiday, Thanksgiving Day, and the Christmas. The Spring Festival just put these two kinds of holidays together.
While being away from home on the most important traditional Chinese holiday, students find it important to celebrate with each other. One student shares what her favorite part of the holiday is.
Oh, food, of course, food. In my hometown, we'll do our traditional Chinese dish, but here, I think we'll just get the list buffet, and I think it's cool.
The celebration for the Chinese New Year will begin Friday at 6 o'clock in the Trojan Center ballrooms.
This Friday, we prepared a great banquet and lots of performances, which we just invite all of you guys can come here and join us. And I hope not only the Chinese people, but also all of the Americans can have fun together.
Shantia Wilson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The Chinese New Year celebration will be this Friday at 6 p.m. in the Trojan Center ballroom.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. A third candidate has entered the race to lead the city of Montgomery. Montgomery County Commissioner Dan Harris announced that he will run for mayor. The Montgomery Advertiser reports that Mayor Todd Strange and former Alabama Congressman Arthur Davis also plan to run for the seat.
Authorities say a fiberglass firm plans to operate a manufacturing plant in Alabama, which is expected to create 75 new jobs. Carlson Engineered Composites that will create the fiberglass component manufacturing plant in Anniston.
And high temperatures are expected to be right around the freezing mark, and in some cases below freezing. In Alabama, residents are recovering from the ice storm that struck several southern states. High temperatures today in Huntsville and Athens were projected to be about 30 degrees.
Still to come on Troy TrojanVision News, the women's basketball team played against UL Lafayette. Clay Yeager will give us more details when he joins us in sports.
Today is a big day in New Orleans. Find out what is going on in that part of the country coming up.
Mardi Gras festivities are in full swing here in New Orleans. I'm Megan Alexander with all the action coming up.
If you store your guns properly.
So not just anyone can get to them.
I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories. Or scary news reports.
I won't have to hold someone's hand and shout you're gonna make it.
And I won't have to tell my kids, this isn't a drill.
Please.
Please.
Please. Please.
Please.
Do it for us.
For us. Do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on Troy TrojanVision News.
The men's basketball team had a tough loss over the weekend in the Trojan Arena as they fell to UL Lafayette for the second time this season. This time the Trojans were close as they lost in overtime 84-80. In the matchup, Chris Bilbo led three of the Trojans in points as he achieved a career and game high of 21 points. At one point, Bilbo sunk 7 straight points to cut the lead with 11 seconds in the game. Kevin Thomas earned his 14th career double-double and his 10th on the season as he scored 14 points. Musa Abdul-Alim scored 70 points, while Wesley Person had his 21st game in double figures as he scored 16 points on the night. Head coach Phil Cunningham says that even though the team has lost close games, they know they have to keep fighting to make it to the postseason.
Well, it's been a tough road to haul here, and what we've tried to do, we've tried to be as positive as possible. At some point, they're all realistic, and it's tough to swallow losses like that. But the thing that we've dwelled on with the team is you're close. You're right there close, and it's a testament to your character that you've never given in, and you keep fighting and put yourself in a position to win. So we've just got to take the positive from it and keep moving forward, because the reality is we're not that far off. We're right there, but we've got to step up and finish the game off here real soon.
The Trojans will now prepare to take on Georgia Southern this Thursday. And the women's basketball team had a different outcome as they had their third straight win against UL Lafayette in a close matchup, 68-63. With the win, Troy is now tied the program record for Sunbelt wins in a season. Renita Garrett also tied her own Troy Division I era with 19 rebounds, as well as scoring 14 points. That makes Garrett's 16th double-double of the season. However, Ashley Beverly Kelly led the Trojans as she scored 20 points on the night. Caitlin Ramirez also scored double figures as she grabbed 11 points as well. Assistant coach Courtney Simmons said that to keep their place in the Sunbelt standings, it was crucial to beat the Raging Cajuns.
It was a great win for us. Lafayette is a team that's right under us in the standings, and they're clawing on our backs, trying to move up in the standings, as we are as well. But it was great for us to go ahead and take care of home court advantage and get that win. They're a great balls club. They're actually very, very well coached. Gary Broadhead does a good job with those girls, but, the Trojans found a way to get the win.
Troy is now ranked number 4 in the conference standings as the conference tournament approaches. The men's baseball season is underway as they started their season strong against Northwestern State over the weekend. Troy played the Demons in 4 games as they won 3 of them and lost 1. Friday, the Trojans started off strong as they won their first game 6-0. Then the Trojans played the Demons in a doubleheader on Saturday as they won a close game 8-7, while the second game the Trojans shut out the Demons once again 5-0. However, the Trojans' momentum was halted Sunday as they lost Northwestern 5-9. The Trojans will now prepare for on the road as they travel to Pensacola, Florida for the Cox Diamond Invitational. The softball team had a rough weekend as they traveled to Athens, Georgia to play in the Bulldog Invitational. In the span of 4 games, the Trojans could only pull off 1 win against Elon 6-2. However, Troy has a chance to bounce back from this weekend as they play against Alabama State tomorrow. As of now, the Hornets are 3-6 this season as they play their first home game. The Trojans, on the other hand, sit with a 3-6 record as well. Troy travels to ASU territory with an away record of 0-2. This will be the first game between the two teams, and head coach Beth Mullins says that the new coaching staff has brought energy to the ASU team.
They're a very good team. I think they have a very good new head coach, Chris Wilcoxon. She's done a great job with them, and I think they're going to be tough, and we're going to have to go out there and give them everything we have.
Tomorrow, the game against the Trojans and the Hornets will start at 4 p.m. The men's golf season is just 4 days away as the Trojans prepare for their season opener in the Bayou City Classic. Troy had a great fall season as they finished in the top 5 in every tournament they participated in. With the Trojan season ready to begin, head coach Matt Terry says his team cannot wait to get back on the course and put into action what they've learned in practice.
Big thing is worrying about practice. What we do here in preparation to go to play tournaments is what we want to do. We've had some really good days leading up. We've been very lucky with the weather. We haven't had to really cancel any days. It's been good so far. I think the guys are excited, ready to leave and go continue. It's been a big break, big long break, a couple of months since we've competed, and they're ready to get back after it and kind of test what they've been working on.
The Trojan season starts this Friday in Humboldt, Texas.